This is 11, WTTW, Public Television for Chicago.
This is Channel 11 WTTW Chicago.
This is Bob Longbonds on the WTTW News Watch. An armored truck has been moved on to the...
The increase could be as large as 6.4% based on new cost of living figures. The cost of living rose 0.2% during the first quarter of 1976. The increase is the smallest in nearly 4 years. In local news, there's a new problem for Illinois cattlemen. State officials say there's an outbreak of tuberculosis in Illinois cattle, the worst in 25 years. In Chicago, Federal Energy Administrator Frank Zarb has appealed to power company officials to support his energy program, which is designed to make the United States self-reliant for all energy needs. Chicago's weather tonight partly cloudy and cooler, low in the 40s. Tomorrow mostly sunny, high in the mid-60s, and right now at Midway it's 55 degrees. This is 11 WTTW Public Television for Chicago. This is 11 WTTW Public Television for Chicago.
Good evening, I'm Jim Ruddle. The Illinois legislature considers veto overrides, and Jim Thompson says don't do it.
I'm John Calloway. Tokyo Rose files for a presidential pardon.
I'm Johanna Steinmetz, and I check out the Arlington Park Theater, where currently women are running the show.
Christine Harris has a report on the supplemental freeway system, and Sanford Unger reports on the latest probe of the Martin Luther King assassination.
Wednesday, November 17th, 1976. From the Channel 11 Public News Center, this is the Calloway-Ruddle Report.
4 members of a radical Arab terrorist group burst into the Intercontinental Hotel in Amman, Jordan, that is, today.
The captioned ABC News.
A new oil workers' strike and continuing violence in Iran. An insurance safety group charges that new federal standards for automobile bumpers are worthless.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight, with Max Robinson in Chicago, Peter Jennings in London, who is on assignment tonight, Barbara Walters, special reports. Tonight, a comment from Howard K. Smith. And from our desk in Washington, Frank Reynolds.
Good evening. The turbulence in Iran entered a new phase today. As violence continued in Tehran and other cities, thousands of oil workers went on strike again.
Good morning, everybody. It's October 18th, 1983. Welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of AM Weather. My name is Carl Weiss.
And I'm Barry Richween. In this mid-October morning, clouds cover much of the country, though a lot of them are not producing any rain. And
Chicago's weather tonight will be fair and cold, with temperatures lows ranging from the upper 20s in the outlying areas to the lower 40s near the lake. Tomorrow will be sunny with a high in the lower 60s, and Monday night will be fair and cold with a low in the middle or upper 30s. The outlook through Friday, partly cloudy with a high around 70 and low in the 40s. It's currently 50 degrees at both the lakefront and Midway, just 37 at O'Hare.
You're watching Channel 11 WTTW Chicago.
Headline News, I'm Brian Christie. Military forces in the Philippines are on full alert, but violence has still marred Monday's regional elections for thousands of governors, mayors, and local council members.
On the 11 Watch, President Bush will join the leaders of Colombia, Bolivia, and Peru for an anti-drug summit in mid-February. The meeting in Cartagena, Colombia, will focus on ways to fight South America's powerful drug cartels. Bush has signed a bill providing $240 million to help those 3 South American nations wage war on the drug traffickers. And the U.S. and 10 other nations are lending Poland $500 million to support economic reforms. The money is meant to tide over Poland's new non-communist government while it awaits help from the International Monetary Fund. Chicago's weather: tonight snow with total accumulations of 1 or 2 inches likely before diminishing to flurries and ending late. Cold with a low of 5 to 10 above. Tomorrow, variable cloudiness, cold with a chance of snow flurries, a high of 10 to 15.
Hi, my name is Elisa, and you're watching Channel 11, WTTW in Chicago.
Yesterday, Mayor Harold Washington unveiled Stage 1 of his economic development plan for Chicago. It focused on the revitalization of the neighborhoods and promised to create or save 10,000 jobs. Will the plan deliver what it promises? That story on Chicago Tonight with John Calloway. This evening on Chicago Tonight, Mayor Harold Washington explains his economic plan for Chicago, and he answers your telephone calls at 591-7250. And now your host, John Calloway.
Good evening and welcome to this first broadcast of Chicago Tonight. And Mayor Washington, thank you very much for being our first guest.
This is a daily ritual. A hot dog and a Budweiser.
Holy cow! If that's the way Harry starts his day, what does he do to end it? Find out on Chicago Tonight with John Calloway. This evening on Chicago Tonight, Cubs broadcaster Harry Carey, and pinch hitting for John Calloway, Bruce Dumont.
This man gets paid to watch baseball, but for Cub announcer...
Good evening, I'm John Calloway, and welcome to Chicago Tonight.
Hello, Chicago. You're watching us on Channel 11 WTTW.
In Chicago, the thing which controls tall buildings, as a good friend of mine has always contended, is the FAA, not the zoning ordinance.
Good evening, I'm John Calloway, and welcome to Chicago Tonight, with apologies for my voice this evening.
Hi, my name is Gwen. This is my daughter Courtney. You're watching Channel 11 WTTW Chicago.
59 degrees, going up to 68. WBBM News Time, 9:38.
This is the WBBM Air Theater, Wrigley Building, Chicago 11.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bruce Dumont. Welcome to Chicago Tonight. John Calloway is on vacation this week, but last week, John and hundreds of broadcast veterans celebrated the 65th anniversary of WBBM Radio.
Hi from Maxwell Street. You're watching Channel 11, WTTW Chicago.
We still do not know how often the implants leak, and when they do, we do not know exactly what materials get into the body.
Good evening, I'm John Calloway, and welcome to Chicago Tonight. The controversy over the safety of silicone gel breast implants is having an immediate economic impact.
Should welcome us so warmly.
Good evening, I'm John Calloway, and welcome to Chicago Tonight.
Know how things operate and how to get things done.
From the nation's capital, this is Chicago Tonight, coming to you all this week from Washington, D.C.
Once they were powerhouse political operatives for Chicago's Mayor Daley. Now they work around the clock for the president. We'll have the stories of their journeys from City Hall to the nation's capital. Good evening, this is John Calloway from outside the White House, where Chicago Tonight continues its week-long series of broadcasts from Washington, D.C.
You're a member of Congress.
Jesse Jackson Jr. couldn't have picked the worst time to come to Congress. The fact is, liberals, minorities, and Democrats do not have a whole lot of clout on Capitol Hill right now.
From the nation's capital, this is Chicago Tonight, coming to you all this week from Washington, D.C.
Good evening, this is John Calloway reporting from Washington. It is...
This is Chicago Tonight, broadcast Thursday, October 26th, 1995.
Good evening, I'm John Calloway, and welcome to Chicago Tonight.
This is Chicago Tonight, broadcast live, Wednesday, March 20th, 19...
This is Chicago Tonight, broadcast live, Monday, December 30th, 1996.
Good evening, I'm John Calloway, and welcome to Chicago Tonight.
The next frontier is sort of the ultimate dream of computer science.
It's scary, costs a lot of money.
Sound, music, all done with the Gizmos 98.
This is Chicago Tonight, Thursday, April 23rd, 1998.
Good evening, I'm John Calloway, and welcome to Chicago Tonight. Remember back when the internet was the preserve of just a few techies?
Do you ever feel like you're hurting your health by smoking a cigar?
Never. I feel like I'm hurting my health when I go and I eat a bunch of greasy French fries.
This is Chicago Tonight, Wednesday, April 22nd, 1998.
Good evening, I'm John Calloway, and welcome to Chicago Tonight.
This is Chicago Tonight, Wednesday, July 7th, 1999.
Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Brackett. Welcome to Chicago Tonight.
Of the Clinton era. We've just begun to fight.
This is Chicago Tonight, Tuesday, January 25th, 2000.
Good evening and welcome to Chicago Tonight. I'm Elizabeth Brackett, sitting in for Phil Ponce.
This is Chicago Tonight, Monday.
This is Chicago Tonight, Wednesday, July 19th, 2000.
They have looked for more than a year. They tried out more than 24 critics. Now, there's a new partner across the aisle from Roger Ebert. Good evening and welcome to Chicago Tonight. I'm Phil Ponce.
This is Chicago Tonight, Tuesday, September 11th, 2001.
It's being called one of the darkest days in America, a second Pearl Harbor. Good evening and welcome to this special one-hour edition of Chicago Tonight. I'm Phil Ponce. The Democrats have their way in Illinois while Republicans are left licking their wounds. Good evening and welcome to a special one-hour edition of Chicago Tonight. I'm Phil Ponce.
Live from WTTW 11, this is Chicago Tonight. Here's Bob Surratt.
Welcome on Chicago Tonight.
Live from WTTW 11. This is Chicago Tonight. Here's Bob Surratt.
Welcome.
Producers was talking about a candidate with a funny name, not much money, but with a fascinating life story who could end up attracting some attention. Did he ever? You know his views when it comes to politics. Tonight, more of the personal side of Illinois' newest senator, Barack Obama, on the Friday Night Show.
My father was a foreign student.
From WTTW 11, this is Chicago Sunday. Here's Phil Ponce.
Good afternoon, I'm Phil Ponce, and welcome to our very first edition of Chicago Sunday.
Rob Feeder recently took a buyout from the Sun-Times, and tonight he'll share his opinions and tell some stories about our local broadcast scene. Next, on Friday Night. Robert Feeder, welcome to Friday Night.
Great to be with you, John.
Rich Coase, welcome to Friday Night.
Good evening and welcome to the week.
Good evening and welcome to Chicago Tonight. I'm Phil Ponce.
Good evening and welcome to the Week in Review. I'm Paris Schutz.
Good evening and welcome to a special edition of Chicago Tonight on this Thursday, April 14th.
We have a significant problem because their experience of policing without any counterbalance is that the police have no respect for them. This time,
Mayor Emanuel's Police Accountability Task Force has a sobering assessment of the Chicago Police Department. We talk about the findings and recommendations with the authors of the report and a live studio audience on this special edition of Chicago Tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Phil Ponce. It is a stark 183-page document that calls out the Chicago Police Department for a pattern of racist practices and lack of accountability.
Good evening and welcome to Chicago Tonight on this Thursday, July 25th.
I ran and won on a platform for change, and that is what we are delivering to the residents of the city of Chicago.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot sits down for an extended conversation about her first 2 months in office. After a budget impasse had many college students fleeing Illinois, will a boost in funding help persuade the next wave to study in-state?
Safety was just utterly disregarded.
A new documentary explores the deadliest day in Chicago history.
People don't remember necessarily what you did, but they remember how you made them feel.
Getting a feel for an unusual entertainment show in town. Meet the stars of Teatro Zinzani.
This is like what grilled cheese smells like in heaven.
I assume that in heaven everything is deep fried.
Yes, but is it on fire? Our next installment of Deep Fridays takes on flaming Saganaki. Opa. All that and more next on Chicago Tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paris Schutz.
I'm Phil Ponce. Thanks for joining us on this Monday, November 4th.
Good evening and welcome to Chicago Tonight. I'm Brandis Friedman.
Good evening and welcome to Chicago Tonight. I'm Paris Schutz.
This is Channel 11. WTTW Chicago.
We're the Jeffersons and you're watching WTTW. Channel 11.